Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of the walnut curio display cabinet build here. We're going to get started here. And I'm going to either try keeping these not so long or do something. But I guess when you're explaining what you got to do what you got to do, right? But then I got to remember where I left off so I don't repeat myself. But anyway, let's see. Getting set up to run these things through the surface sander now. Get them cleaned up and ready to go. I'm going to explain here in a second. I guess it's kind of hard to do things one-handed. Something to remember too when you go through the surface sander. So, don't fall. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright, well, now I got these, like I said. And also, when you're doing stuff like this, I'm glad I say I didn't screw up after all. Well, I kind of did. This spot I wanted on this side, but when you're going with narrow boards here, you're starting to work with rights and lefts. If I would have put this board down here, if I would have had this board down here, then this panel would have been this side, and that would have been where I wanted it. It still ends up on the bottom where I want it. It just, I don't know why I wanted that on the right side of the cabinet, but because that's a 3-inch piece down here. This is 2 7/16. That's 1.5 inches. That's a 2-inch piece. So, but then also, now, you know you got this decorative little edge right there. It's not very thick. And I might have a problem already. But, I don't know. I'll have to see how that cleans up. I like I said, I gotta check out that one planer I've been using. I think something's breaking because it's kind of varying thicknesses on wood. But anyway, you got to remember to do the back side first. Get your back all flat and leveled out. Then do your front side. Because if you start with your front with the back uneven, and I learned the hard way, you can end up sanding that lip completely off. And then you have no decorative edge other than what's down in there and a lot thinner panel. So, and right here on this one, we got a little bit of planer snipe, but also, let's see, where is that? Okay, and also the raised panel, this one you can see just a little bit of a gap under on this back side, and that's what you want. The front side should touch like that. Let me get, yeah, because when you go through the surface sander, what am I trying? Yeah, you don't want. That's the other thing, because I forgot to show. I'll show you the machine. Oh, I think my brain's going faster now. I can talk. Like I said, oh yeah, the shaper here, and by having this bit right there and a dedicated machine, I've got the height adjusted so when I set the router bits, that comes out flush on the front like it's supposed to. And it comes out flush and flat. If that router bit in that machine was off, then the face of this starts standing proud. Then you can't run it through the surface sander unless, and I've had that happen to me before too, is we ended up having to sand it until the raised panel lost its edge. And it was just, if that's sticking proud, it's going to eat it off. And if you try doing your backside first, that's going to rock around and create a mess. So you got to have everything dialed in so everything comes out on the same level. And it takes a little extra time to set it up, but once you get it set up, you're ready to rock and roll. So, I guess I'll go ahead and find the tripod, set it up, and since I'm doing a series on this, I'll show you the steps. I'll try to remember to show you the steps as we go of doing this. And granted, when I do the surface sanding on the top, I probably won't repeat it. I'll just show you once, so it ain't a repeat of everything. I mean, you get the gist of it. So, well, then once those are surface sanded, then we're ready to just put the pocket holes in around for the top. And then we'll be able to run it through the router table, get that tongue and groove set up and ready to go. Then we can assemble the bottom of this. Then I'll know how big to make the floor to go in, because then everything, once it's glued together, that size will no longer change. It's going to stay that size. And since this is a smaller project and I'm not spending $150, $660 for a sheet of 3/4 inch oak veneer plywood, and this is a small project and this wood is really dry, I'm going to make solid wood back and solid wood floor for this. And the way I'm cutting down on wood going into this is I'm going to make a top, and well, you'll see here in a little while. So I guess I'll get the tripod set up and we'll do a little surface sanding. Then we'll do some pocket holing. Then we'll do the routering. So quite a few steps and goes into building the project. And maybe after this, some people that watch this will understand what it takes to build some of these things. So that's what I'm running into. Everybody's in a hurry and just don't understand why it takes some time. Well, when you're when you're by yourself, when you're doing the rough planing, so you're planing your wood, then you're cutting it, you're running it through the joiner to get it straight, then you're cutting it to widths, cutting it to lengths, then you're routering, sanding, then you're doing the finish work, and if I decide to go with my drilled in shelf supports, or if I'm going to change over and go to the metal shelf supports, you got all that to do. And being a one-man shop, you're doing the job of about 6 or 7 people. So, and like I said, this is not mass production. There are only going to be a few of these made, and like that wardrobe, after I got done with that, I really like that. And I want to make one. That one I'm thinking about making out of walnut. That I might break down and buy a sheet. Oh, that's going to take... Well, that one, if I make it a different way, I'll still need a sheet or two of that. So there goes almost $350 just to build that one. So, wow. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to shut up, get this set up for the sander, and try and stay on track. I'm trying. I'm learning. I'm trying to teach myself as I'm going to. So, okay. Alright, well, I'm going to grab the panels and we'll start surface sanding here. It's going to be a little noisy, sorry, so I'm just letting you know. Oops. Helps if you plug everything in. inside, buried up top. There's just a little bit left there. This one? Oh no, I had the wrong one. Sorry about that, guys. Right there, you see there's just a little bit that's still shiny. It hasn't been hit by sandpaper, but it's pretty much flush. But since that's the bottom buried inside, that don't have to be perfect. You don't want to remove a lot, because the more you remove, then the thinner that lip here gets, and then the weaker the panel becomes. So that is flat enough. Now we'll do the front sides. Now, oops, sorry, everything, just look how that cleans that up. It just, and what was looking like a bad knot has turned into a nice looking knot. And our corners are flat. And yeah, I guess it's consistent. I don't remember which one was the high one, but you still got your lip, and it's consistent. There you go. But and since this walnut, I don't stain walnut. I don't see the need to stain it. Is sand to finish while you're assembling. All the sanding should be done here. I mean, you got to get all your. That's the only thing about a surface sander. It gives you get one group of boards. You're going to go crossways, and you got to get all that crosshatch sanded out. And so I guess before, well, no, I'll go ahead and do the pocket holes, which I guess those are ready. We'll go ahead and do that. Then I'll do my sanding and save a step. So. And this is the Craig pocket hole system. Let's see if I can get you set up here. Hey man, be nice, give me some room here. Okay, what do we see? Okay. This is one with the air clamp on it that holds wood for me. And then I can take the drill off here. Sorry about that. Take the drill off here because this is one of the older versions that when they first come out with these, they come up with this. You can set your bit. It's got its own drill chuck. And you're good to go. And I use a nickel down there to set the height, depth of the cut. So, and it's all spring loaded, so it's springs back. So, and ideally, you want like a 6-inch spacing on your screws, dependent on the project. Like this here, I won't end up with a 6-inch spacing. What I'll probably do is put one here, maybe 2 here, and then 1 out here. So, and I only need to do that in the top side, so I got a way of fastening the top on. And remember to do it now before you put it together. I've got the portable jigs, and and let's see, I want to show you something too here. If that'll show up. Let's see what you see, those lines there. If you line it up right there, you're centered. And I usually go off one line, or like I said, it depends on the project and size of the board. But I usually go to one line off. You know, not quite. I want to center in that one today. So I'll center in there. That just gives you a reference point. So, okay, get you set back up here. Make sure you're still seeing. Yep. And then, this is actually a foot operated thing, but I've got it rigged up, and I'm thinking about doing a wooden paddle of some kind that I could just throw my hip into, then I can hold. But usually with smaller projects like I've been doing, I can put it in and make sure you got the good side away from you. Otherwise you're going to put a hole in the wrong side, then you got to plug it and everything else. So, and then also too, since I got a back that's going to go in here, I'm going to probably groove it, so when you do the backboard, you got to remember to stay out of where you're going to have your groove. And you know what, I think I am just going to kind of go about a 3-inch, looks like a 3-inch separation, kind of. So, I know it's inside and that, you're not going to see it, but I try and keep it uniform. It don't have to be, but just try. And then, like I said, you got to make sure you do your top sides and keep everything in. And then also, like I said, rights and lefts. And then again, like I said, there you go. And oop, I almost goofed with that one. There'll be a 1/4-inch tongue, so I'm still close. So like I said, you gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention. Alright. Oops, sorry guys. Well, with that, I'm going to sit down, get those all sanded now, and that before I run them through this router here. I gotta change the bit over to this one here. Really gotta get this light back here replaced. This bit here, the tongue cutter. So, got the groove cutter, the slot cutter in there now. Gotta switch over and get it ready to do the tongue. So, but all right. Well, when I get ready to route and do that, I'll bring you guys back. Okay, I just thought of something that I haven't explained, and I'm sorry. The surface sander here, I've got that set up with a 80 grit paper in there. At one time, I did have it set up with 80 and 120 in the sander. I ran out of 120, so the last time I got sandpaper, the guy that got me the sandpaper for part of doing his work just got me 80 grit, so I just went back to 80 grit straight through. So since that's at 80 grit, there to me is no reason to go over this with 80 grit and put those swirls back in and have to sand those out. So I go on this project, I'm going to go from the 80 to 120 to 150 with this sander, and then 220 with another. Since, like I said, this is walnut and it's got to be a sand to finish, be ready for either the tung oil, lacquer, polyurethane, whatever you want to put on this. The sanding work needs to be done now, not after it's assembled. You're still going to have some spots that you're going to have to sand after it's assembled, but you want all this sanding done now. And like I said, sanding it now before you go through your tongue bit. Every little bit, it adds up. Just like you save pennies, they add up fast. So each 30-second or 1/32 or whatever you take off, you do that 2 or 3 times, you're starting to add up on different thicknesses. So I just got thinking of that when I went to sand. I hadn't said what I had the surface sander set up with. And that's a 24-inch surface sander. Knowing what I know now, I wish I would have bought the 37-inch. But hey, if things turn around and things keep going, that's why they sell tools. You know, move up again. So, all right, that covers another thing. Like I said, when I'm off camera and that, and some people they think I'm funny, as I'll be just standing there kind of staring into space, but I am thinking about something that's going on. And there was a kitchen I done, and the corner cabinet was going to be hadn't done it. I seen it done. To buy the hardware, I'm like, no, I can figure out how to do this and use normal hardware, and I got it done. It ended up being 90 degree. It's 3 drawers with 90-degree drawer fronts on it, and it turned out super neat and it all fit together. And the way I done that to hook to another cabinet, I got to look back at those older videos and see if I showed that or if that's stored on the hard drive, because I know I made a now that I'm thinking, I know I made a video of it to remember how to do it again. So, and I'm thinking about actually redoing our kitchen cabinets, and knowing that would help get us more storage in that one corner that I want. So, and I don't have a lot of cabinets to redo. I've got part of them already made. The reason we went with used cabinets, they were donated at the time. So, but I'm getting off track. I'll get this sanded, then we'll do the routing, and we'll start assembling this today and getting, that way we know what to glue up for a floor for this. And yeah, just thought of something else. So, all right, I'll get sanded and we'll be back. Okay, for right now I'm stopping with the 120 grit sandpaper because I don't want to have it finished sanded when I run it over the table in case I get a mark or something. But we'll go through, oops, sorry guys. We'll go through setting up this router table here quick, and let's see. So, and the router bits I use are made by Mark's, when he was with some CMT or summer. CMT, I'm zoomed in too far. CMT, well, now since then Mark has gone off on his own, but the way he's got these router bits set up, they're machined to the right height, and as most people know, you're not supposed to just drop a router bit down into the bottom. Well, down inside, what do I got? I got a rubber O-ring. There. I'll have to find them and show you, but that gives that the thing to squeeze in, because when you tighten it down, it pulls down on the bit. So, and since these are machined to match, it's just as simple as taking the one out, dropping in, and I am not being paid by CMT or Somerville, nothing. So, and then it's with this fence, and edge, and having router bits. When I started working years ago with this, you didn't have the bearings to, you were lucky even if you had a pilot guide. So, and since this is two small sides, then at this point now I would take my feather boards and put on there to help hold down. I figured out that's helped too, get a better glue joint. But since these are two small sides, the best thing I've ever invested in was these hand blocks. Years ago, that finger here has been in a router. When I was younger, yes, I've jigsawed a finger, routered, smashed, and when these things were come along, they were pretty good. So, and like I said, using this set, it's always the good side down. Doing a project like this, there has been times when I wanted the good side up, because when that project comes up, I'll show you. But for right now, confident holding it down with my hands, with the push thing. So I guess we'll get this around. So now let's see, I'll spin you guys around and we'll do a dry fit here quick. What do you guys see? I see got you a little crooked. Okay. Now we'll just dry fit these quick, and you'll see how fast your project can start taking shape. And then you can make sure everything's going together like it's supposed to. And there's come that smell of walnut I remember. Oh. When I was in, oh God, I don't know what you guys are seeing because I turned the screen around. Yeah, I would never make a good movie producer, would I? Anyway. Oh, gotta get the pocket holes in the top of this one too, which I ain't even in the screen. Sorry guys. I'm sorry. But oh, that's right. Okay, here's a good thing. Remember what I said about paying attention when you groove things? Now, here's the example. See, I grooved these, then ran it through the surface sander. Well, look at what I got to do now. I'm bottomed out and it won't pull up. So I'll have to set that bit back in there and reroute this so it's back to the proper depth. So now you see what I got to do when I make the floor here when I have the same problem. So I know what I'll do is come back in here and take that tongue off a little bit. Just looks like about a solid blade's width is what I'll have to take off to get that to set. So, well, now here, I guess we'll show you how easy it is to use this bit set, huh? I'll get you back in the picture. I start and stop you, but boy, when it goes to editing that, you really seems to take too long to edit it out. So, and I'm trying to keep from making these so long that you get bored, but I guess I'm kind of changing what I'm doing with YouTube here, and trying to do a little more how-tos, and we'll still have 4x4 and fun and that. And I hate to say this about this router bit set, but having that lined up with the bearing, I have had the bearing fail and have had to dig the broken bearing out so I can leave the fence set to finish a project. That's real annoying when that happens. Alright. Now. Okay, see now, like I said, if I hadn't done this is when I could have done this now for the first time, but I couldn't do this one in there. That one's, I see the easy fix is just cut it normal, then just take a saw blade's width off the tongue, and you got more than enough meat in there to hold it. So. Turn it back around. I don't think I changed it too much. Okay, yep, still got you there. Alright. Let's try that again. Hey! Much better. Okay. Now I got that stood up. I'll bring you over here and show you. Oh, okay. So get that there, and bring you over to show you, then I forget to show you, huh? Okay. Oh, this is harder than what I thought. This is where the kids would be handy. But anyway, I just come along together. Kind of see one goof, but hey, it's walnut, and that's not what I was worried about. But a little color hang. I got a little bit of white here on the dark, but see, there's what they give you for a glue gap. So when you put the glue in, and it gives it room to squeeze down in there without pushing your project apart. So now. Then when I take my measurement to make my floor, I don't go back there and I don't guess. I come up here next to the face frame and take the measurement, make sure everything's kind of sitting square, because that'll throw you off. And take your measurement, and now we know, well, now we know where the measurement needs to be. You make your floor square to that size, then you automatically, I'm zoomed in, ain't I? Oh, sorry. Then you automatically square everything up, and then the floor will have the tongue, and on this project it'll have the pocket screws on the bottom side going into there. So, but there is the start of the base, which now that I think about it, yesterday I could have printed off the door and we could have had the door made for the base already. But and now what I'm going to do for the top here, the false top, I'll come here at 45 these, give it an 1.5 inch overhang, do that on the 3 sides, then the backboard will just be a filler piece to keep it square. That'll be pocket hole together. Oh yeah, pocket hole, I gotta remember that. So, alright, well, there we go. There are the steps in getting this box made for the bottom of the cabinet. And that's the other thing I gotta decide on, if I'm gonna pocket hole this back end. You know, that's what I think I did on the last one. I was thinking about doing a tongue, but once you got the floor in, that's going to be hard to put the back in. And that, so yep, I think I'll just go like I have. Huh. The heck? Oh, I was going to say, how did a rock get on that? But it wasn't a rock, it was just dry glue. So, alright, yeah. So let's see what else. Okay, I guess I got to glue up the floor, print out the paperwork for the door, and I don't know, I'll have to see how long I've racked up on time. My camera doesn't tell me, since they're all individual movies, and I've got a, oh, what is it, 16 gigabyte hard drive in this camera, so I could put a lot of movies on here, and so it doesn't keep track at the time. But alright, well, I'll get a floor glued up and made, and we'll go about putting that in, but that'll go through the surface sander again and make it flat and true. And I tell you, having that surface sander, years ago I made tables, and I used to use 3x21, 4x24 belt sanders and sit there and rock back and forth, crisscrossing and taking the straight edge and just sitting there until I had the tabletop flat, and they were flat. A lot of process, but with my early degenerative arthritis in my lower back and my health issues, not being able to stand all the time, just got to where I couldn't comfortably do it. So that's what work smarter, not harder, is what the saying I keep hearing a lot lately. So, but yeah. So I don't know if I'll do any more with this today, or this will be part 2. And that, because, hell no, I'll get the floor cut and in and made and in. Then we'll get the top edge on this, because I need the top edge on to get the next section. See, when I made this last one, I got rough measurements. I'm going to make another one of these right away, and I didn't. So this time I am making a paper trail of what I've done and measurements and parts and that, because I might make a couple. I might make 4 or 5 of these, maybe 6, and sell them. So, but a lot of different woods in that. Like right now, I'm running low on oak, but I got plenty of walnut laying around here. And then I got some white oak upstairs. We'll have to take the moisture tester up and see how that stuff's drying down, if it's still dried at all or still wet. It's a tree I had cut up 2000. I don't remember if it was early 2000. No, it was 2011 it got cut, and then I moved it into here this summer. So yeah, okay, it's been laying around now for 2 years, so hopefully it's dry. I didn't have that kiln dry, and I just letting it air dry. So alright, I'm shutting up. I'm getting long-winded. Sorry, forgive me. Alright. Okay, I know this isn't our walnut curio thing, but this is a little tip I just thought of, and I wish I would have thought of this a long time ago. You know, I've hated cutting backs for things. Now, that's going to be a little different down here, but it still will work. Always hated cutting backs. I could never get the length right because I don't know why I goof. But I just realized something when I was doing this. I took and I was lining this up at first flush like that. Then I was going to go and add a 1/4 inch or whatever. When it hit me, all I got to do is slide that up to where that tongue's cut, put my pencil mark. You got that down in the groove. That slides down, and you line that up with your, then you put your pencil mark there, and I shorten it just a little to give it a little room. But yeah, then you flip her around. Oops. Get the fat side out here, and come on. And then she fits. So that's just a little tidbit. And yeah, my mouth's back to hurting. The more I'm up and moving around, so. But yeah, and then I working on finishing up the drawer for that one side. Then I got 2 more to go. Finally getting all my scrap plywood ate up. I'm running out of scrap plywood, but I just wanted to slip that in, and I'm not sure at this point. Whoops, sorry about shaking it. If I'll get much more of the walnut curio done today or not, so this might be the end of part 2. Trying to get this desk done so I can deliver it Monday, Tuesday, and have it out of my hair and be done. So, and then I had forgotten to put in. Forgot the. Forgot to have the drawer side supports in, so got them in now on this, and down there I did too, and then yeah. All right, well, if I get back to the walnut thing, I'll add. Otherwise, yeah. But all right, I gotta go. Sorry. Yeah, this bad. I don't remember what I said on the last part of the video before I'm finishing this up for today, but well, this is where we're sitting. This is the other bench. Where's the desk part? Well, I'll show you here. Here's where we're sitting on our walnut curio display. But I'm going to give you a taste of the desk. There is the desk so far. Everything you see there has been clear coated, and I got the drawer handles mounted, and check out these handles she got with focuses. Yeah, I caught that, and all the flowers are right side up. So, but yep, this is the desk right now. Parts of the upper I would have liked to have a back in, but hey, customer's choice. We got the drawer box made for that one. Got to make those 2 yet. And here's a drawer that's not going to fail, guys. This thing is made entirely out of 3/4 inch plywood. That's been edged out. I got to trim it now and sand it, clear coat it, because I don't know if anybody else thinks like I do, but I hate looking in a dark drawer for stuff. So we're going to leave that natural color with that desk. I think that'll be nice when you open it up and have that nice clear drawer there. So, but then yeah, so, and it's looking like if everything goes right, there's something going on this weekend. So if everything goes right, Mr. Desk there should be at its home Monday or Tuesday. So that'll be another project done, and we'll continue with our walnuts. So sorry I'm sneaking a little of this in with the walnut stuff, but getting stuff done. I kind of got sidetracked. I stopped working on the walnut curio and did some more things on the desk, which got me closer to being done. So But anyway, with that, well, I'm going to stop there and we'll get this one uploaded tonight. And I thank everybody. I see we've cleared over 63,000 views. And I'm up to 179 people subscribing. And I thank you very much for subscribing and watching the videos. So I don't know what else to say, but other than a big thank you for watching. So, well, we'll get this next project done, and then there's some projects I'm thinking about doing. There's a centennial in a town coming up this year. It's their 150th year. So I think we're going to shoot for building stuff for there and take over and try and sell. So, trying to get ahead of the summer stuff. But, alright, thanks for watching again. Bye.